Good day, everyone. Our lesson is about the sampling method. Okay? A researcher may gather information through the use of different gathering methods like interview or questionnaire method or through experiment or through observation. And in gathering this information, a researcher may choose whether the data will be from the population or from the whole population or from these samples only. Okay? This video will be focusing on the sampling method. Okay, there are two types of sampling method. The first one is the probability sampling method. Okay, this involves the random selection. Okay, it means that every sample or every participant may have an equal chance to be selected. Okay, the other one is the non-probability sampling method. It involves the non-random selection. Okay, so from the probability sampling, everyone has an equal chance to be selected. Okay, so non-probability sampling method, not everyone has a chance to be selected. Okay, population versus sample. A population is what we call the entire group of participants. Okay, so the samples is the group where you will collect data from. Okay, the sample came from the population. Okay, what are the difference between the population and the sample? Okay, their difference is that a population is a big group while the sample is a small group. Okay, similarity, they are both groups. Okay, but the sample came from the population. Okay, this is to illustrate the population and the sample. Okay, what you see on the left side is the target population or the whole population. As you can see, a sample or a group, okay, of sample was taken from the population. Okay, so what do we mean by the sample size? Sample size is the number of participants that a researcher will include in his data where the data will be gathered from. Okay, so as you can see, if we will count the number of samples, there are 4 samples. So the sample size is 4. Okay, so here are the probability sampling method. We have the simple random sampling. Okay, each member of the population has an equal chance of being selected, also called as lottery sampling. Okay, here in random sampling, there are no systematic approach. Any approach will do. Okay, you may select anyone because anyone has an equal chance of being selected, or you may use you may pick someone, or you may pick a participant in any which way that a researcher may opt to. Okay, next we have a systematic sampling. Members of the population are listed and samples are selected at interval called sample intervals. Okay, in this system, all participants, okay, are listed, and then they made intervals like for example, for every fifth of the listed names, it will be the participant that will be included as a sample. Every fifth, also fifth, and then add another 5 for the intervals, and that will be the next participant. Okay, so that is what we call the systematic sampling. Next is the stratified sampling. Members of the population are grouped on the basis of their homogeneity. The entire population are composed of different groups. Okay, for example, in a certain barangay, the population or the group of population, let's say there are 15, the next barangay there are 20, and the next barangay there are 40. So there are different numbers of groups included in the whole population. Also, you will get the ratio of this population to get the number of the participants. Next is the cluster sampling. This is applied on a geographical basis, okay? Also called as area sampling. Most of the geographical area are huge, and population may be inconvenient to gather data from the whole population. So what the researcher do is they made groups through geographical area and get samples from that group. Okay, multi-stage sampling. Okay, uses a combination of different sampling techniques. Okay, maybe you may use a cluster sampling, and then in selecting the samples, you may use a random sampling for each cluster. So that is what we call a multi-stage sampling. Okay, so a while ago, we have mentioned that there are two sampling methods, the probability sampling method and the non-probability sampling method. So the non-probability sampling method, not everyone has an equal chance of being selected. Okay, so there are four non-probability sampling method. The first one is the convenience sampling method. The selection of the participant includes only those that are most accessible to the researcher. Okay, those that can be easily accessed, or those that can be easily found by the researcher. Okay, or those that are most convenient to get data from. Okay. Next is the voluntary response sampling, also based on ease of access. So the researcher finds or prefer to find volunteer as a participant. The next one is the purposive sampling. The selection is according to the most useful to the purpose of the study. So the selection is according to the purpose of the researcher. Okay, so it will be easy to find participants if the purpose has been identified. And lastly, the snowball sampling. This is used when population is hard to access. This is done by recruiting of participants through other participants. Okay, they find participants by asking their current participant, and then that will be the one who will suggest or who will recruit another participant. Okay, so that's it for the sampling method, and I will see you next lesson. Bye.